Welcome to the podcast. This is the Witch Bitch Amateur Hour.
It's it. It's us. You sound better, which is nice. That's good.
I'm feeling better. This is my first... Man, I was thinking about the other day when we did our late recording. Not Zipcat, but like last week's episode that came out like on Thursday or whatever. I was thinking how much I really screwed the pooch on that one. I really came out of the gate like, I think I'm over the hump. But absolutely was not. So I will say this with a little bit of fear in my voice because of what happened last time. I dared. Today's my first day semi up and at 'em again.
Your eyeballs look normal for the first time. Since
extrapolate.
Well, like they don't look glazed and miserable. Like you look like yourself out of your eyeballs today, which I've not seen the past couple times we've recorded.
Yeah. I'm at the point where the medication is helping me live a normal-ish life. You know, it's still like the walking around doing stuff, you still have to go, oh my God, I'm winded. But it's thank you for your concern. I think I almost died, dude.
I was worried, like, because especially the day that you just sent me delirious messages, and they only there was like an 18-hour period I only got like fever, weird sleep messages from you and I was like, she might die. I'm actually kind of concerned.
That was the worst. That was the worst day. Truthfully, that was the day that like when I was lucid, I was like, if this gets any worse, I am going to the hospital.
That's the line. But you're here and you look normal. I'm glad for it.
Thank you.
Glad to see you.
Thank you.
Normal.
Well, normal except for these fucking
except for those
sweet,
definitely new eyebrows you're sporting. Yeah.
Dude, I just don't think I'm like a cut eyebrow person. Anyway,
I get it. I'm not either. I don't even pluck mine, dude. I don't. I hate it. I have the most sensitive brows, dude. I can't take it. I just can't. I'm not sensitive.
I don't like it
with hair anywhere
plucking
else.
in particular.
I'm not doing
Fuck that.
It makes me rageful.
I'll give it a good oh, look at that. That's nice. I'll give it a good in between.
Mm-hmm.
In between the brow, get the monobrow, the unibrow, whatever we're calling it these days. I'll rip that to shreds. But I can't see that's one of the that's like that area between the eyebrows. I like that feeling when I rip it off. I'm like, ooh.
See, I get that because I have to pluck my beauty mark, my mole, you know?
Yeah.
And I've had to do that since I was like fucking 11 because it's a mole. And moles just wilding out, man. When if they could sprout a hair, they're going to sprout the like hoariest, like thickest, blackest hair that they can. And it's kind of the same way. It's like, it's kind of a satisfying one to pull out. Yeah. So I get you on that.
Well, now that everyone who is sensitive to this kind of talk has clicked away and decided they'll never listen to us again, and they go, isn't this a podcast about witchcraft? Let's talk about what we're talking about today.
I'm bringing a food. I'm back with a vegetable. I'm coming back to all of us with a vegetable again, and I'm talking about celery. Yeah.
Okay.
Celery. Listen, there's a lot here, and I'm sad. There's so many historical avenues that I had to stop myself to go down with celery. And so with that, it's like, this is one of those where I went a little nuts and I feel like I have like a shitload of history. And then it's like, and there's some magic stuff too, but it's just wild. Celery is just cool, man. I love the history of vegetables. It's always a treat.
Now, do you like celery?
I like celery. I like celery a good deal.
Do you like celery in things, or will you just like munch down on a piece of celery?
I'll raw dog some celery.
I won't.
Oh, I will. I like it. Dude, grew up eating peanut butter and celery. Peanut butter and celery was...
Now, see, ants on a log is a different thing.
Ants on a log fucking rips.
Ants on a log.
Big fan. Yeah. But no, I will just chow down with it. It is, however, and I had looked this up today and I forgot to write the name down. But celery my entire life, always after a little while, it makes my tongue go numb. It always kind of has like a numbing effect in my mouth. And apparently, oh God, what's it called? It's called like cross pollination. So there's like type of thing to where our brain crosses the wires of things we eat thinking they're pollen. And it's like a pseudo like reaction, but it's not a real
Your brain
reaction.
goes, this is pollen.
Yeah. And so it's like, that could be a reason because it seems somewhat-ish common. I mean, it's been happening my whole life. So I don't think,
Maybe you're allergic.
It doesn't seem to be. And
this is how you learn you're mildly.
It's only if I eat it raw. Only if I'm eating it raw and by itself. If it's diluted by anything, I don't notice it. It's only if I'm eating raw celery with nothing it's been dipped in, there's no peanut butter on it, I'll just notice it a little bit. But that apparently it's a common one for that pollen cross brain thing that I can't remember the name of.
So definitely not the same thing and definitely not as healthy, but I do the same things with McDonald's fries. I'll get about halfway through a thing of McDonald's fries and my mouth feels funny.
I don't know what that means. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, okay. So I am still recovering from the mend. I'm still recovering from the suds. I am on the mend. So I have a conversational topic, but listen, it's one that I'm very excited about, and I think it's going to be a fun time. And I also want to hear from all the beans over in the coven. Which is, when we say the coven, what we're talking about is the Facebook page, which should be a Discord soon. Really, one of these days, it really should be, because Facebook just blows, man.
Facebook does blow. It blows so hard.
It blows very hard.
But Discord's UI...
You don't like it?
I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much.
We should just make our own. Make our own and make it better.
Build our own world and live in it. I get it. But I mean, Discord is cool.
Funny that
I like
you say
what goes
that
on over there, but I hate being there because I hate how it's laid out.
Did you say build our own world?
Yes.
Because that's what my conversation topic is today. I want to talk about I want us today to have just a fun little daydream together. And I want to build, we're always joking about it, but I want to build our perfect, not only witchy houses, but our perfect little witchy commune. And I want to build that in our brain minds today. And then everyone can pop off over on Facebook about, what did we miss? What would you have that's important? And
what would your job be? If you were to come
what would
to
your job be?
Our place, what would you do? Yeah.
Because we've always joked, when you guys are like, one day we're going to buy a big thing of land and we're going to have this big commune / cult. We're like, you have to bring some kind of something to the table. Do you bake? Do you teach? Do you sing? Can you entertain?
Listen, this is going to be a bard-friendly society right out of the gate.
Everyone in the society will probably be a bard, and our clothes will be falling apart. Yeah. And we won't be able to grow anything.
That's not true.
Animals will be starving.
No.
But we'll all be bards.
No, we're going to have our shit together.
That's true.
We're going to have our shit together. It's just that if you want to be a bard and you want to fucking sing with your lute the whole time, we're
not turning bards away.
Whatever you're doing, bards are welcome always. The world needs more bards any day.
World need more bard.
World need more bard.
World need more bard. But what we really need is a mechanic. So please, if you have any skills with that.
Need that. Because seriously, it's like gardening, things like that. I feel pretty good about, but we need mechanical minds. Because that's where you lose me. That's where
STEM.
I struggled.
We need people in STEM. Please, God.
Engineers.
We're thirsty for STEM.
Engineers, y'all are big time welcome because we're going to need to build structures that are better than just gum and tape holding them together.
Medicinal people. We need healthcare.
Healers. Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, we need our body workers. We need our massage therapists. We need our physical therapists. We need everything in the bodywork field. We need everybody.
We need construction.
Yeah.
Because I'm not building a house.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'll day labor. You'll need to show me. Sweat. You'll need to show me what to do because I don't know what to do. But I'll day labor.
Well, see, that's the good thing about the commune is we can kind of do in our space. This is in my mind. This is happening in a semi post-apocalyptic scenario. You know what I mean? So we're kind of have to rely on stuff like this. But in my mind, there's no longer things like, okay, for me, I had to get licensed to be a massage therapist.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no longer things like that. However, I could lead a class with anyone that's interested, and I could pass down that knowledge.
I think
so. We can do that.
Everyone immediately, if you have a skill that is notable, you take an apprentice. Because we need to expand the knowledge base, because we need multiple points of information. So I feel like if you are well-versed and you are a certified person, immediately find people that are interested, take 1 or 2 apprentices. Boom, you start spreading the network of knowledge in the city or whatever it is, the place.
Yeah. And that way, and hopefully, because this is a long-term thing, when you go on, when you pass away or when you exit the scene, because, I feel like we're going to take care of our elders here. We're not going to force, people who are in their twilight to continue building our houses, when there's like 2 20-year-old kids there who could, take over. Are we just going to start into this? Because you didn't go first last time?
I think we go into it.
Let's just rock and roll. Okay,
I think we rock and roll into it, and then I'll bring us back down to earth with reality.
Okay. With some cell. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's see. We're about 13 minutes in, so we'll aim for like 45. Sure, I'm just trying to not go off.
So we don't do this the entire episode, because we could.
Yeah, right.
We could.
So, Macy, let me ask you. Okay, we'll start here. You have a huge plot of land, and let's just say this is fantasy world, so we don't worry about the goddamn particulates. But let's say you have 600 acres of land.
Okay.
Okay, that's a ton of land, right?
Give or
Where
take.
is it?
It's a good amount.
No, okay. You know what? Fuck you. 2,000 acres of land.
2,000 acres of land is serious fucking business.
Okay.
We can do a lot with even 600 is a lot, but like 2,000 is you could really have a whole serious, like, you're like a realm. I mean, you're not, but like, it would feel like it,
Here we go. 2,000 acres of land. 3,000 acres of land. Whatever. 2,000 acres of land handed to you for whatever reason. Tell me, where is it located? And what are your first moves? You're looking around at all this raw land, and you have to build this empire, this commune, this witchy safe space for everyone to get together and do whatever you want. I don't know. You're the king of this land. What do you do?
I'm the king of this land.
Stay out of the Wallsworth.
How rich I could not tell.
Not say.
Sorry. Here's the thing. So since I can be choosy here, I'm picking a mild climate, because here's the thing too. We're going to need to feed everyone. A long growing season is important. So I want to put this somewhere that has very fertile soils and a long growing season. So I wouldn't mind putting this somewhere that is maybe kind of rolling on, getting into like kind of like the eastern, kind of northeastern type part of not all the way up north, but maybe into the Carolinas, kind of places like that. We're going to need a lot of timber. We're going to need a lot of raw resources. And I feel like you got a lot of resources out there to build up structure and to get going on out there. And I would consider even kind of the central corridor of the country as well, but not just big open prairie land. Because again, we need woods. But
water features.
Gotta have water.
What do you want?
And that's another reason I kind of like getting out into like the Carolina area, or even like Dakota.
I want a river.
Yeah, you gotta have
a big lake.
Gotta have running water, gotta have standing water, or like not standing water, but you gotta have a source of water. And so I feel like we get all that going there. And then you need good drainage. It's very important to be in a property that's not a fucking swamp either, especially if you're trying to.
Or just clay ground, like some places in Texas.
Yeah. So good, fertile soil. And I feel like that you can run into that out there. And so that
running water, lots of trees. Okay.
Yeah, lots of trees. And
even though that area you're talking about does get a little cooler, we're not talking like Arctic temperatures or desert temperatures. It's kind of, for lack of a better term, it is mild.
Yeah,
comparatively.
Harsh springs, in winter, sure, but people have been able to grow and put away, food there for generations. And so I feel like that could be a good spot for it. And also a lot of power there. I mean, there's that land, those mountains.
I was thinking like windmills.
No,
like
no. Well, so we got to run power out to our compounds.
Yeah.
No, I just
That's
feel
another
like
thing.
it would be a
We're going to go ahead and
place.
pretend that there's just electricity, I guess.
I've been assuming there isn't.
Okay, fine. This is your world. Assume there isn't.
There is none. And we're doing this. I kind of took your idea of saying this is kind of after a bit of a collapse, but this
so it's shut down.
This is the version of a collapse that is like the silver lining. This is what could happen if people pulled their knowledge together and we were able to secure magically a giant swatch of land.
Yeah.
And
pick you up like a SEM and just drop you into the middle of it. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't pick up SEMs, but you know.
Yes. And one thing I would
What's your first move?
Truly, I would want to speak to, honor, invite, however I can, the native people. Like native peoples who have lived here, continue to live there, lived there for a long time.
Yeah, who's going to know the land better?
They're going to know it better than anybody and go ahead and establish that connection of communication and understanding there, because I'm not going to go in there and be like, I know everything about this place, because I fucking don't. And I feel like that's just the right way to go about it.
Well, but you've seen enough Bear Grylls to know that you jump into a freezing cold body of water.
I drop down and run headfirst into a freezing river. I got to get my senses right.
Yeah. You eat all the dead things off the ground. Build your immunity.
Yeah, of course. Drink all the unfiltered water. And so following that and gaining understanding of this land itself, not to mention, I'm not an Appalachian, but I know a lot of you Appalachian listeners, and there's rules out there that I'm not privy to. So it's like that's the reason I want to learn the ways of the wood and the ways of the mountains first, because I feel like going in there bumbling around is a surefire way to get your shit rocked out of the gate.
Yeah.
Not doing
for sure. And also it's just a good way to preserve the cultural importance.
Yes.
You know, instead of just being like, we're starting over from scratch, we're making our own rules. It's like, the land is always going to be old. Like it exists. You know, you can't just come in and be like, new save, you know?
Yeah, no, I have no interest in it. And then after that, I think, so here's where I would like to fast forward a little bit, because I don't want to think about the logistics of acquiring everyone. I just would like it to beam into everybody's head somehow. If you pass this vibe check that is also included in this big skip that I'm doing here, you can come here.
You got to pass the vibe check.
But it is ideal to, I would want mine to be, not to say that it is a society to work yourself to death. You do need to bring something. You need to bring, because this is an electricity-less place. This is a place that is moved entirely by people. And I want it to be a nice place and everybody's skills can be shared and respected. But a contribution of some sort, I think, is important for an off-grid society to keep functioning.
Who you taking on first? Who, if you could build your first person who shows up outside of, I guess, whoever you'd already have, their family or friends or whatever, right? The first person shrugs up with their little bindle over their shoulder, and they're like, well, howdy there. I'd like to move into this land, which we'll name at some point. And you sit them down and you say, what are your skills? Build your perfect first person.
I want this first person to come out of the woods. And out of the woods, attached to them, they've got like a speed square and a tape measure and a hammer and like their carpenter jeans loop, the fancy hammer holder.
Bob the Builder.
I want Bob the Builder to come out of here because the best I can do is some tied together grasses and branches and like making a lean-to. I know this is about myself. We're going to need structure or people are going to die of exposure. That's just the way.
That's true.
So I need that mind to come in, that engineering mind. I need that from the top because I'm an ideas guy. That's what I am. Yeah.
You are a bard. Yeah.
I need that I can garden. I can help set the gardens up with the growers. Like that's, and I would be working on that. And I would also hope that they are coming soon, but you're got to house
an apprentice,
people.
For sure.
You got to house people. And so I need that help. Oh, immediately. I need that help.
Yeah.
So bad.
Now, let me ask you this. You get your builder or a few builders in the town, right? And we'll leave all the goddamn details to the builder. I don't need to know about it.
I don't care.
I'm going to show you how you make your nails. Mm-hmm. Just make them. how do you want the living situation to be for your people? Are you making one big fat fucking longhouse where we can all wake up and have morning like ritual together? Or is everybody getting little places to stay? What do you think?
I'm inserting myself into this story and everybody's getting their own space. Because the thought of just living together in one big communal house makes me feel like my brains are going to run out of my ears. I can't. Yeah. I can't. But
I think there should be a communal space.
Yes. You got to have the gathering
to get
place.
Together.
Got to have the gathering place. But no, I think everybody in a minimalist place. It doesn't have to be much. I think you've got your essentials in it.
Yeah.
But like
little cabins or cottages.
Little cottages, you know, just very, very general construction, probably all very similar. And because a lot of this place is going to be, I'm picking a mild climate. There's no electricity in this world. You're going to be outside a lot.
We need candle makers.
Outside a lot. Oh God, dude. Gotta have candle makers.
We need candle makers.
That's the light. We're going to have our light source. So like beekeepers.
Which means we need
fucking like bees.
An apiary, yeah.
Like we gotta have it. Once you start realizing what all that you need, like if you want to, it's amazing. So that is why I love skills. It is, you don't even realize sometimes how what you know can be so valuable in a situation.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Because you could be like, well, I hobby. I make, I know how to render down fat and make tallow and make soap and hand cream out of it. It's like, yeah, I want you on my team.
We fucking need that.
You know how to render shit?
Like, come on, man.
Come on, dude.
Brother,
are you kidding me?
Sewists. I mean, everything from mending to full-on drafting. If you know how to draft, then you can make clothing for people. People who can draft patterns blow me away. It is something that I've tried to learn, and I could if I was able to study under someone, but the math and the minor changes of patterns that the way it puzzle pieces, again, it's that engineering thing that I struggle with. I don't have that so much.
Yeah.
But like, ooh,
if I was the sewist, it would be like everybody in tube dresses. I would just measure your biggest point, and then I would wrap some fabric around you, sew you into it, and give you 2 little spaghetti straps. Yeah. That's what everybody's getting.
Everyone's wearing circle skirts for me. I don't care who you are. You're wearing a circle skirt and some stretchy jersey top. That's probably a crop because that's all I've got. So like,
and you're like, I would like to build a house and not a skirt, please. Thank you.
Sorry, it's all I have. So
I can't do it any better.
We need the sewists, and we need the canners. We need the people who understand preserving food, which is an incredible knowledge art to have. So like,
we need people fluent in like animal husbandry.
Oh yeah, tanning hide.
We gotta have people out there making cow babies for my delicious ribs.
We're gonna have a full-on cattle. We're gonna just turn into a cattle ranch. But like, think of hide tanning. All of the, like all of these things that like we're going to need again if there's no longer a source. You can't go to Joanne Fabrics anymore.
Right. Well, you could rate it if it hasn't already been cleared out, but you can't go there in the traditional sense.
No, in hiking all the way from our place
to a Joanne
Fabric would be a serious, serious investment of effort. But man, I feel like these are your like shelter needs to be sorted. Like that's your first one. And generally, I do think people need something to do. So I think having 100%. People assigned quickly and is important because it's not that I love the phrase like idle hands are the devil's playground, but I do feel like in the building of something like this, you gotta have that engagement. Otherwise, the momentum can fall, and you don't want the momentum to fall because it's a huge job. Yeah. And it's a lot to get out. So you want to keep everybody engaged and excited in it. So I feel like everybody needs to be doing something. Yeah, have a purpose. Yeah. Everybody's teaching something. Now, everybody's learning something or doing something.
What would you learn? Like, let's say you also had to apprentice. What would you be an apprentice to? Something that you want to learn that maybe you have no idea how to do.
I'd want to learn the other end of growing with the preserving. So I would, because I struggle with that end of the spectrum, and so it's like I've got pretty decent knowledge of how to grow, but like the preservation part, which is going to be so crucial because again, there's no refrigeration. We're going to have cellars in this place. So like that's crucial to me. I would immediately want to partner up with someone who's been canning and preserving food.
Cold potato cellar. Like that. I think I'd go into herbalism. I think I'd go into like healing type, I don't know.
We're going to need a weed grower. Somebody's going to need to come in who knows how to grow that good shit. And we're going to have to like have our little patch out there.
They rock up in like the most stereotypical stoner wear.
One of them
got,
will.
Like, the handmade.
They'll show
tie-dye.
up. Yeah, they'll show up and we'll immediately know and be like, oh, thank God. Okay, you're over here.
On.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You got seeds? And then we can get them set up and it'll be great.
Yeah.
And
they'll talk about, all of that really technical shit that when you listen to people who know how to grow weed talk about, my eyes glaze over because to me, I'm just like, just stick the weed in the ground and smoke it. But
and they're talking
so
about
much
like
more to it.
trichomes or whatever. And you're
it's like, can you get me some headband? That's all I need. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something really glaring here, though.
Okay, let's think. We've got builders. We've got growers.
Oh, we got to have we got to have the spiritual aspect, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I was going to say, I love how this has gone immediately into like doomsday bunker.
Well, because you have to. You've got to get the infrastructure set up. Otherwise, it's all going to fall apart. But I feel like as that's churning and moving forward, the lifeblood under it all is that meeting place, to where we can have. And listen, we're going to have astrologers. Or, like we're going to have all, and so y'all are all going to fucking know every single goddamn thing going on. We're going to have a ceremony for every lunar eclipse and shit that is going on. Like, come on.
We'll need the planners. We'll need the people who are like planning minded, who are like, they organize the town. They run the town essentially and say, okay, we need to do this on this day and this on this day. And this day we got to get this shit over here to do, and just keep everybody on their toes. We need people like that.
Yeah.
Who look at a calendar and go, nom, 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 nom.
Yeah. Which is honestly, I know
jelly. That's not witchy. But
I'm so jelly of all.
I think I could probably do that. Implementing it is my issue, but I do love a calendar. Okay, so we have astrologers. I'm assuming we've got some herbalists. We've got some, your spiritual cleaners, maybe.
Well, and what's
not
cool
like a medical doctor, but
we're going to have so many people involved. And, like, tell me that there's not going to be a whole bunch of different people who haven't been following Hecate or the Morrigan or any deity for a really long time. So like, I feel like you could have ceremonies dedicated to these different deities. And if you follow them, you can go, and so it's just like this very open culture of leading all of these different ceremonies from people that know what goes behind them. And just like this worship of the power, depending on who and what and where and when is teaching it and coming to it and tapping into it. I think it'd be super fun.
That's a whole other avenue of teaching too, because that's a whole other thing of being like, listen, this is something I followed my whole life, like whatever it is, whatever sect of witchcraft, paganism, spirituality, whatever it is, right? And you could be like, this is important to me. I want to keep this alive, and you can do so in the manner of your choosing. Like maybe there's classes, or maybe, I don't know, whatever. It just, to be very culturally like, what's the word? Reverent, I guess. You kind of keep track of that kind of stuff. And, I think that's important. I also think we need our soothsayers.
Oh,
just 'cause.
Come on. Yeah. We need them.
I mean, just 'cause.
We got, if nothing else, just for the color they bring to life. Like, but come on.
That's the thing. If you show up and you have no skills to speak of, but you just kind of waft around and say cryptic things, I'm marking you down as a bard and I'm letting you in.
Yeah, that's a definite maybe, if like at least, because like, listen, every town needs one. And
just kind of disappear for a little while and come back,
mutter, mutter around. Yeah, and kind of, I listen, it's interesting. It makes life interesting. Okay, so let me think here. I mean, I'm trying to run through the little Rolodex in my head of who all we need for shit. And I feel like we've got a pretty good
cooks
mix going on. Oh, of course.
We need cooks because, like, having food is one thing, but then, like, having good food, that's enrichment.
Food.
Yeah.
Like, food. You're going to need your storytellers. Because, again, this is a world...
And your documenters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a world of no electricity anymore. And so we're going to need our actors and our players and our and our storytellers to entertain at night, you know, and maybe in the evenings on a nice night, they're posted up in different places around the 2,000 acres, and you can go listen to whatever stories piquing your fancy that night and let them either act it out or you sit and they tell it. Like, here's the thing. I feel like I could very confidently over multiple nights tell the story of Cushy Elsdart. Like, at this point, I've read and studied that book to where I could tell it. I could tell that story. So anyone could be a storyteller.
It doesn't have to be, anyone could sign up if they think that they can confidently tell a story. Listen, I'll give you Lord of the Rings. I'll sit down, we'll start. Yeah. And I'll even do the little Galadriel voice, So,
I mean, like, I think it could be nice. I think it could be a nice, fulfilling place. Don't know what I would name it. That would take some thought on the name.
Macy Town.
Come on out to Macy Town.
Come out, Macyville.
Macyville.
Right at the corner of Macy Town.
All the streets are just different. So it's like Macy Avenue.
Macy Avenue.
Yeah, exactly. And just different words getting it through.
Macy Boulevard.
Horrible.
And then when you run out of those, you can go a little Anise Road.
Oh, move down the name. Move down the name, but nobody forget who this is all about. No, I would enjoy being a shapeshifter on that property to where it's just nobody really pays that much attention to me once it all gets settled in, and I just hop around to different jobs making sure people aren't miserable and that things are moving smooth and but not like in a leader. I don't want to be like the face of leadership. I would rather be like the underbelly of leadership that's checking that everyone...
You need a figurehead.
I need the figurehead. Yeah, because I don't have it. I don't have the desire for power like that.
I need somebody who can whip up some moonshine. I need a brewer. I need a winemaker, moonshinist. We're going to have a little booze. Listen, if not for sterilization, for fun.
No, it's okay. I mean, if we've got a weed farmer, we're going to have booze makers and brewers.
So do we need like a crack cocaine maker as well?
I think the climate does not support the plant. But I do think you are right in that we need to have spirits throughout, also one, like you said, for cleaning wounds and sterilization.
Somebody will grow mushrooms.
People are going to want a party. Somebody's growing mushrums. Somebody's
going to know how to do that.
And
if that's your skill, come on in, buddy.
I'm not trying the first several batches, though. I wanted to get through a couple flights of people before I know it's not going to take me out.
Whatever council that there is that votes to let people in, I'm not casting my vote for like the first gen mushroom grower who's like, I've read about it online. No, I want someone who like this is their whole bag. They can say all the Latin names. And
come bearing samples. And I'm going to watch as you give it to somebody that's not me and see how it goes for them.
A poison tester.
Yeah.
That's you come to the town, you're like, I'll be the royal potion tester.
Honestly, if you were one of those, because I've met some people that are just like, honestly, their bodies are just really agreeable with like psychedelics and shit like that. And they'll just take so many and be like, oh yeah, it was a great time. Nothing really even happened. I feel like that's your job then. You are the royal drug tester.
Yeah. High fucking constitution.
Yeah. And they're free.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. You get a bunch of free drugs to test.
And you get to live here.
You are the first one to get them every time,
Right.
and you just need to know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Someone will
I'm
take
sure
that
things
job.
can happen, but like, you know, I do need you to smoke a little bit of that before I do, because I just want to make sure it doesn't send you through the roof, you know?
Yes, exactly. And someone will jump on it, and we'll have our royal isn't the right word, but our
maybe it is. This just becomes a monarchy so fucking fast.
But yeah, like I don't know what I would call this place. So I'm gonna stew on that because really you've not told me much of yours.
Well, mine's a little bit more the Pisces rising is going to come out a little bit more because I think mine is far less practical in nature, because whilst I do want to pretend that the rest of the rules of society have degraded in the rest of the world, I also want to pretend a few things. I want to pretend there's still magical power, you know, that I don't know where it comes from. And maybe the water still runs, you know, maybe it's not too far from what we've got. And you know what? Anyone who watches any kind of zombie movie or post-apocalyptic, they'll tell you the most dangerous thing is other people, right?
Yeah.
So I want to be like, maybe we're not going to get raided. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
you know what?
I would rather that not happen. I was a little worried about it with mine, but I don't want to inject guns into the mix, because then it's going to be another one of those things to where everybody's all armed up again, and then we've just seen that go bad with a lot of cults, and so it just makes me nervous. But we need I feel like we need a fighting class. We need a warrior class. That's
the thing. We need some kind of protective something. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody's really good at like fucking jujitsu, and they'll teach everybody, and we can all kind of hold our own.
You know who we didn't say? We need a smith.
I don't know. What?
We need a smith. You got to have a smith.
Oh, God, yeah. The Smiths? You gotta have Morrissey come in?
I'm just going there and moaning around town.
Morrissey moaning all the time.
But think about it, man.
That'll be my job.
You need to work in the garden. You need some tools for that shit. You need some steel. We need a smith. You need anything like that. You need a blacksmith.
Which means we need people to go out and get fucking ore. There's a lot. There's a lot here, man.
Yeah. Shit.
Okay, so mine. Okay, I think mine. I'm with you on the individual houses. Okay, so it's me. I get my 2,000 acres. I bring friends and family. We all got a plate. Okay. I'm covering the basics first. People who know how to grow shit. I'm putting your ass out in the hydroponic area.
Do we have electricity in yours? Because I could do full aquaponics in this world. If we have electricity.
Yeah, we got this mystery electricity. Who we don't really. Maybe we have new alien overlords, and they're like, "Look, we'll give you electricity, and we'll give you running water, and we're not here to kill you. We're just here to observe what you would do with your little 2,000 acre plot." I don't know.
Okay, sure.
We'll figure it out.
Got it.
I'm not worried about it. There's also something in the air that you breathe that makes you not question things like this too deep.
Maybe oxygen content has gone up. Whatever happened, it increased the oxygen content in the atmosphere, so everybody's just feeling real great, like how they pump the casinos full of it, you know?
Just fucking laughing gas being pumped in all the time. What's he saying? Little Shop of Horrors? He said, kid's got a goddamn revolver. No. See, immediately I started thinking about skills of the people I know that are already going to be there. I'm like, okay, Macy grows shit and sews. Hunter can probably build things.
Hunter can build anything.
He can fall off of a 4-story roof and be fine.
So that strong constitution is there. And he's like, and realistically, he was in the back of my head when I was thinking of the builder, but I was assuming, I don't know why I assumed we couldn't take any family. I don't know why I didn't take any family. It was just me and you only and our listeners.
They all died.
But he's the one that can build anything to start out.
He starts so he's built. And plus, I mean, listen, not for nothing, Papa built your house and his house and your mom's house. Mm-hmm. He's got the knowledge. He can be the sage, you know,
point around, tell people what to do, rust and build shit.
My mom and Mama covered the herbalism.
Yes.
Got the herbalism covered.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And the candles.
Dad?
And the soaps.
Candles, soaps, herbalism oils,
sewing
shit like
for
that.
both of them as well.
Do what?
Sewing as well for both of them.
Sewing as well.
That's some skill.
Sewing
there.
as well.
Yeah.
Father, my dad, is a workhorse. You know, I feel like anything you need him to do, he's out there. He's the power. He's got a lot of brawn.
Also, and with my mom as well, big time bard energy.
Big time bard. And they can both cook.
They can
so
both.
I'm sticking their asses in the kitchen.
Mom is.
I'm sticking their asses into a band.
Stick them in a band. Mom is a cosmetologist. People are going to need. Now she's not going to want to do it probably now, but like if she had,
but she could teach. She could teach her apprentice.
Yes, and she would be a good teacher. She's very good, so that would be covered. You know, and like we've got that involved. That's useful. Every
your brother Rustin, of similar energy to my dad. Mm-hmm. He seems like a jack of all trades.
Bit of an everyman.
Can
so
much
anything.
Energy to put into things.
Yes,
but also big time bard energy.
Yes, you just got to feed him.
So
you got to feed him.
You got to feed him, but that's okay. You got to feed in your big old boys who are going to get out there and do the work.
All. Yeah, it's just he will be the most vocal about when it is time to eat.
Right. Which, how could we put that to work?
How could we
Maybe
use
he's
that?
How could we use that? Maybe he's the meal planner. Maybe he's the town announcer.
He's the crier.
He's
Rustin's the crier. Oh my God, of course.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah. I can't think of anything better. Yeah.
Dude, and he'd love it. He'd eat that shit up too.
Oh my gosh. We could build him a balcony that he goes out on specifically to do his crying. Oh, he'll make perfect.
All the announcements.
Oh.
Everyone
will hear him. You'll hear him.
We don't need a megaphone.
We don't. He will work in my world or your world. Electricity or no. Because that's the thing about Rustin. And I recognize this as someone who has a voice that also carries. Rustin's is even more so. You can hear his voice over. I don't care how many thousands of people are in the room, and I don't care how far away he is.
You can hear his.
You can hear his. Distinct. It's there. Everything about
it resonates.
Yes, at its own.
At a different level.
Its own place.
Yeah.
And you can't. He's be the perfect crier. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Any mood. Yeah. He could do it in any mood. Oh.
I really would love to see this in action.
Wow.
I would love to see this in action. Okay.
I'm giddy
wow.
from that.
So out of basically everything that we have covered, what are we missing at this point? What do we need? What are we missing? A smith again. We need a smith.
Yes. I think we prioritize. I think it is very important to prioritize, and we've already kind of said this, but I just think it is something that is an undercurrent in both, and that once you've got everything you need and everybody's got a job, I think you do prioritize entertainment. I think it is very important that people know that we're not here to just work and be miserable all the time. This isn't just a continuation of the society that has collapsed. We're getting to
I think we work
part of it.
We work for what we need.
Yes.
But there's, if you don't have anything to do, there is no feeling bad about it. Maybe you go put your hands to work somewhere else, or you know what? Kick back and go watch a show. Go watch Rustin scream off the balcony about something, Say
what lunch is going to be today. Yeah, go to the courtyard and hear Rustin scream at what the cooks are cooking up today for everybody. And he can mutter under his breath afterwards that they need to fucking speed it up then because he's hungrier than shit and his spinal cord's chewing on his stomach right now. Yeah. And I just feel like he'd be really great at the job, and I'd watch him every day.
I had nothing to eat today.
Everybody's acting like I'm just supposed to be fine. Hungry.
Oh, I love him.
Oh, he'd be great.
Oh God. Okay.
I feel satisfied about this. I feel pretty satisfied. Logistics are still very loose, and that's how I like it. It's simple.
You know what? Because we don't know who's going to come walking through that gate. We don't know what skill they're going to provide, and that's what I want to throw over to you guys on Facebook. We'll make a post. We'll pen it possibly. And I just want to say, what is your skill that you are bringing in this type of world? Like, what is something that if you really sat and thought about it, even if, because I'm the kind of person who like thinks, man, I don't know if I'd have anything to offer. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I'd probably just be like a big leech to everybody. But I'm going to sit and I'm going to think. And I'll be like, you know what am I good at? I think I am good at the storytelling aspect. You know, I think I could probably do that. I could run games of some kind. We could make our own version of D&D. We'll put something together.
Oh, that would be fun.
I'm really good at cleaning things. So, you know, cleanliness is important.
Dude, you have to clean this city. Like,
it
has to be cleaned. And that's like something everybody needs to understand, is that it's like, this isn't going to turn into a fucking cesspool. And I'm
a massage therapist. I can to pass that down to somebody. Make sure that art doesn't die.
That is so useful because everybody's also it's going to be, there's a lot to do. People are going to be doing a lot. They're going to need their bodies worked on.
That's the thing. That's another part of it is like you can, on one side of it, you can teach like the massage therapy aspect and be like, here's the motions, here's where you want to do this, that, and the other. But there's a secondary thing for people like me and for you. We know the body. Like we know where the muscles are located. I would need a good refresher, but I pretty much know all the names of them, the bones and stuff like that. And I think that would be good for people who are, that's just good for people to know. That's just good for people to know.
It is good for people to know
how the body works.
And I like to think everybody trades, like you come in and get a massage by a massage therapist and they
barter system society.
They're eating the food that you're growing in the gardens. And so everybody
I don't feel like we have
contributing.
any money here.
No, I don't want any money. I want to try to make it work without any money.
That's how you contribute though. You know what I mean? That's why we say you have to contribute something when you show up because there's no money, It's like if you show up and you're just sort of like, we do have to have a town drunk. We do have to have somebody who doesn't do anything and just sort of, and I use drunk loosely,
entertainment. You got to have characters. Every town needs a few characters.
That's the thing.
To give it some flair.
I need the guy who stands on the corner and sells apples to people and he just sort of yells insults at people as they walk by.
As they walk by, you come to expect this. You come to depend on it. And you know what I just thought of? We need a cobbler. Everybody's gonna need shoes, dude.
Are you serious?
Who makes
what are you gonna
shoes
do? You're gonna
anymore?
walk around without shoes?
Who fucking makes shoes anymore? And I don't say that as an insult. It's an amazing craft, but who makes shoes anymore? That would actually be pretty difficult to find people to make proper shoes because assuming...
And that's why I'm so excited about this.
Yes. What can y'all do?
God, we've said it 100 times. My brain is sick. My brain is sick in all medicine. Apprentice. The whole apprenticeship. I'm very excited about learning things from other people, and passing those things down. And, God, you said shoes and that reminded me of something else. Oh, well. A baker. Oh, I was going to say, I, for one, would like to bring in, I want to put a big, heavy importance on animals. You're allowed to not eat animals if you don't want, but I'm probably still gonna, but I want to make sure that it's done right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that we need a lot of the stuff from the, if we're going to be making shoes, we need that leather, or we need that whatever else.
There's the hide. You got to have chickens. I mean, if nothing else, you got to have chickens because eggs are so valuable, if nothing else. If you're
make a big, a big community-sized omelet, and we can all just come in and get a big fucking serving of that delicious-ass omelet with some salsa that, you plucked out of the garden.
Dude, you grew them tomatoes, and you grew them peppers, and you grew them onions, and you cut them all up, and they're all fresh from the goddamn sun.
Cheese from the fucking goats and the cows and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, that's living. It sounds great. I think the food quality would be through the roof. It would be better than what any of us are getting currently because everything's fresh and everything is made. Oh, yeah. It would all be
it's just we need somebody who knows how to deal with pestilence, though. In the garden and with animals.
A lot of
disease
animals,
and pestilence and stuff.
I would not know. The garden is easier. But there's still stuff that the problem is that we can't just go to the store and get a lot of this stuff. So it would come down to planting companion plants and different herbal remedies that you can try to use that makes insects go away because it's not like we can go to the store and buy some diatomaceous earth, which...
Have you seen Those fucking slabs, they're like stone slabs, and you use them as like bath mats, or you put your soaps on them in the bathroom, and it's made out of I can never say it right, the diatomaceous earth.
Does it just like soak the water
But it's the
up?
bath mat, and it just...
Interesting.
Listen, I ordered some because, like, the bathroom sink is always wet, and that fucking pisses me off. To, like, set your little soap bottle on. I'm so excited for it.
Oh, they haven't come in yet. You're going to have to tell me if it works.
Yeah, very excited for it.
Okay. Listen, I feel content. I feel pretty content with this. I'm happy
good with this.
Yeah.
This is a good start. It's also really making me think of the game. There's a game called Banished that this is really, really making me think of, where it's a basic, like, it's a town builder / resource management game. But you start and you're just a small group of people, like 5-7 people, and you only have a limited amount of things, and you have to, like, build outward for there. So in my head, cool. I'm thinking, what do they need in the game? First up, they need shelter. Blacksmith comes incredibly fast. Food production is one of the first things, because, like, the tools wear out fast, and then the blacksmith, if you don't have one, you're like, fuck, I forgot to get a blacksmith. You need a forester, to keep the tree
Yeah, you gotta have an arborist.
Banished if you're into that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I also, as we break here and before we go into the sponsor of this week's episode, I have an announcement. I have procured a gaming PC. So, expect the return of Charlye with a Y on Twitch.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll play games. It's coming in fairly soon, so by the, end of next month, beginning of the one after that or so, we should see a pretty solid sexual working out. Get hype.
Good.
Anyway.
I'm so excited, dude. And then all I need to do is get a computer and we'll be set up.
It's a fucking refurbished. It's a refurb, and it was on like hella mega sale. And it was like, it's like an $800 gaming computer, which, listen, I know people out there who build their PCs, and was my plan. I know that like a $800, you're like, but listen, it's better than nothing.
You do what you can with what you got. Yeah. And
but I didn't pay $800 for it.
No,
maybe.
But I'm pro refurb. I'm using a refurb computer right now, and though it's old,
love refurb.
It has been great to me. It's just old. Yeah. It's not its fault though. It has been good.
Well, see, in the listen, I didn't build it, but I have been doing a lot of research, and I feel like I can kind of I can't hold my own with, like, the nerds, but, like, I kind of know what I'm talking about now, and it's got some pretty good specs, so I'm kind of happy. Anyway, Charlye with a Y, twitch.tv/Charlye with a Y, something like it. It's linked below. Let's talk about this week's sponsor. Macy. You know who I've been thinking about a lot recently?
Who have you been thinking about a lot recently?
The Morrigan.
Whoa.
And how I wish I could build a deep and authentic connection with them.
Wow. I've heard that the Morrigan is a very deep topic to get into, and might not be a bad idea to seek the guidance and knowledge of others on that front as you go to learn a little bit more about the Morrigan.
If only there was a place to do this.
If there was just one place. Well, let me tell you, there is a place. There is a gathering that is going on in Washington State along the Columbia River Gorge. The Columbia River Gorge. And this is going to be a 4-day, 3-night immersion that explores the Irish goddess, the Morrigan.
Will this also help me to develop my spiritual tools to create a powerful personal change? Perhaps deepen and strengthen my spiritual path through the Irish myths and teachings?
Sounding like it, man. So at the meeting of the Ford, a Morrigan immersion, there's going to be a lot that is going on. Information that is led by native Irish experts and award-winning spiritual authors, and a professional wellness facilitator and ritualists. Participants, they'll study the Morrigan's myths and learn and take cues to form these deep, authentic connections with the Morrigan, developing spiritual tools to navigate personal crossroads, align with purpose, and deepen or renew a personal spiritual practice. So maybe you've had that connection before, and it's kind of just fallen a little bit. This could be a wonderful experience to rekindle that with your interest or devotion to the Morrigan.
And not only is it going to be learning about or reconnecting your relationship with the Morrigan, I want to talk about what else is included here, okay? You also get some deep and compassionate support from the people around you, of which, might I say, is only going to be about 20 people.
Nice.
Small class, small learning group.
I like that.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Big fan.
There's going to be guides there for you. So if you are like totally clueless, all the way up to totally experienced, you're going to have a place here. There's also going to be food involved. There's going to be 3 breakfasts, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, and you get snacks every day. And more importantly, they are nourishing and locally sourced.
You get a tour of some regional waterfalls, because again, this is Washington. Dude. It's going to be beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous place. As you can go tour waterfalls and natural phenomena led by local guides and experts. And guys, you get a gift basket. We love a gift basket. We love it. You get a gift basket. Come on now. Waiting for you there at your lodgings, which are going to be located at the Society Hotel. On the website here that we are going to be linking in the show notes, it's CourtneyAWeber.com, and we'll have the link to this specific page on there. She talks more about the location, how things like that work, pricing, as well as important dates. And one important date is April 1st. Applications open. And an even more important date is April 20th. Applications close. So that's a very important one to know. May 1st, participants are notified of acceptance by email. April 20th, if you are interested in this experience, give an application in there. They open up on April 1st, so you can go ahead and submit your application to get in and hop on this website here. Well, again, it's linked in the show notes, and take a look at the facilitators, all of the information around it. This area just looks so pretty. I swear. I want to go to Washington State so bad.
What better place, dude, to like not only strengthen your connection to this absolute powerhouse, the Morrigan, and just like renew your personal spiritual practice and to just get in touch. What a better place than a spa hotel with all of the like cliffs and rivers.
I die.
Yeah.
So guys, one more time, this is Meeting at the Ford, a Morrigan immersion. This is a 4-day, 3-night experience. It is going into the Irish goddess, the Morrigan. So lots of learning to be had there. It's CourtneyAWeber.com. The full link to this page is in the show notes. Y'all check it out. They're a friend of the show. And anyway, see if we can get some of y'all out there learning about the Morrigan, which is so incredible.
Somebody like touch a waterfall for me.
Oh yeah, touch it. Yeah. We'll know you did it.
Yeah. We'll feel it. We'll go,
yeah. All right. Alrighty. Then I think let's roll in. Let's roll into Celery.
Back to the show.
Alrighty. Which I cannot, my brain wants to spell it Celery, like Celary every time. I struggle to put that second E in there. So every single time I was typing it, I would get like the red squiggles. And I was like, what? And then it was every time I put an A in there. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's me.
The red squiggles are a fact of life.
They just, oh man.
They just happen.
And so modern celery descends from Apium graveolens.
Stop.
Yeah. And so
graveolens.
It is native to the Mediterranean. And it's a member of this same family of parsley, carrots, and dill. It's in the parsley family. The wild version of this, because this is another one of those that has been changed by human involvement from its original wild state a good bit. But the wild...
There's wild celery?
Wild celery. And its culinary use was not really as much because it was bitter and gross and mildly toxic. So... It was used more differently than that, which we get into it later. But yeah, a lot like other things like corn, like we talked about, humans have been involved with kind of changing and breeding and
bananas,
putting stuff in here. Yes, bananas. And so I have us a brief history of celery, and the history of celery is actually pretty long and pretty damn global. So I just kind of picked a lane.
Best.
Yeah. So
give us your best.
French scientist Oliver de Serre began cultivating a celery variety in the 1620s. So it's pretty far on back there. And by the 18th century, it had spread and it was growing in English gardens. So it was starting to spread and take hold. And over the course of even more years, decades went on, it was still like crossbred and changed with other varieties, eventually becoming solid. So the original wild celery, I believe, is hollow. And so it's not like our U-shapes, like solid
like
one. Yeah. And so it was hollow. And so then you start seeing the kind of U-shaped stalks that we're more familiar with starting to develop. And we're recognizing it a little. This is maybe a little bit more of the celery that we would be like, okay, I recognize this as celery. So in the 1730s,
I know what that is.
They had the process of blanching. And blanching is not like what we think it is when you boil stuff, like flash boil it to like peaches when you're trying to get the skins off or whatever.
And then dunk it in water, right?
Yeah, like this is not that. It is a gardening process. And it seems that growers would plant the celery seeds in these trenches that were like a foot wide and 6 inches deep. And they would plant them all and then they would sprout. And as they sprouted, they would pile the dirt kind of up around the plants as they grew.
Oh, kind of like you do with potatoes.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. And like you do it to keep the sun off of it. But it's like they'll say paler and more tender when shielded like that. So less bitter in flavor as well. And so this meant you could start it because before this, while it was being grown in English gardens, it didn't necessarily mean you wanted to chow down raw with it. It didn't taste as good as like your store-bought celery today from the grocery store. However, it did seem to be taken on a bit more in an accepted way versus like the tomato, which was side-eyed very intensely. But the tomato was also from the New World. This was from the Mediterranean. So I feel like they're like, it's safe. It's not
wolf peach
from, wolf peach. God. And so celery was safe, it seems. It wasn't going to make you a werewolf. And by the 17...
I love how scared they were of things.
Very scared of vegetables.
Totally not scared of the things they should be afraid of.
Yeah, not scared of like drinking out of shit water, but you better not let a tomato touch you. Like, yeah. God forbid.
Yeah. Put that like lead powder makeup in your lungs. But don't eat some celery. Yeah.
Yeah. In the 1760s, celery was beginning to be poised, it seems, to make its leap across the pond to America. And it was via advertisement of seeds in catalogs in London. You could buy celery seeds. And so it seemed celery seeds were bought and shipped and made their way somehow, whether people brought them or shipped them, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Seeds made it over to the New World. And it became pretty widely grown after a little while. The blanching process was picked up stateside and it just kind of began rock and roll and growing celery. And it made its way into cookbooks pretty quickly. There's celery and I think
American Cookery.
The very first published cookbook. Yeah. And I don't remember if that's what it's called, but it's like the first cookbook and it's in there talking about celery. Yeah. And variety of dishes too, from soups to main courses to stuffings to sauces to things like that. So it was seen pretty all over the place.
I fucking love stuffing.
I love stuffing. I love stuffing. And it kills me that every person who ever makes it, anytime you're eating stuffing, that's always delicious. They're like, well, it's just the worst stuffing I've ever made. And I wish that people knew who made stuffing. I wish that y'all understood that it's delicious no matter what. It's always
the best.
It's the best. Stuffing. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. It's all I could ever dream of. Be proud of your stuffing.
Especially, delicious. There are 2 people in this world who I might lay down my life for their stuffing.
Yes.
My grandmother, or our shared grandmother, and my mother.
And they both shit all over
every time Every time they make it, it's just not good.
It drives me nuts. They both do it. And it's like, I'm over there slathering it. I'm essentially in a bathtub of it and cranberry sauce. And they're just like, I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed by this stuff. And it's just like, I'm embarrassing myself right now sucks, at how fucking sloppy I am with this shit. Okay. It's delicious. Always know your stuffing's good. Okay. Have faith.
Yeah. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Everybody shut up about how much your stuffing's not good. It's delicious. So it seems the heart center of the celery foothold in the United States is in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Whoa.
And Kalamazoo, it led it to get the name the Celery City, or just Celery City, for a while, which I'm such a big fan of. I love that. It seems, and I don't know enough about this to know the full story. I know you Kalamazooans, I don't know if that's what you'll call yourselves, Kalamazooties, whatever you are.
Kalamazooties.
But Celery City was retired, it seems, as more of a mainstream name for the mall city, because I think that Kalamazoo was the first city to have like a public mall, and like not like shopping mall, but like, you know, like a big open public area that people could go where there's downtown shopping and stuff like that, like an open public mall in that sense, because people were moving to the burbs at that time and downtown was starting to die. So in order for them to bring commerce in, they invested in this public area of like, y'all come
a Tanger outlet center.
Y'all come party and eat and go shop and do all this other shit. So the first mall, it seems, I think it was in Kalamazoo. So now it's the mall city, but it was Celery City because there's a shit pile of celery being grown in Kalamazoo, Michigan, apparently. And celery, I did not know this, celery had a role as a fancy table ornament for a good long while, to the point that it had its own dedicated serving container, the celery vase or the celery glass. And it was a fancy...
you keep talking, I'm Googling
Look up celery vase. And it was for display of celery at the table for a decorative flair. For a good long minute, by the upper crust initially, specifically. Now, of course, that changed.
They're pretty. Get into that.
They're very pretty. Yeah, it's nice. It's very fancy, and
especially some of these like more ornate ones, like this purple one. Damn.
And if I was to come across it in an antique store, and I probably have before, I would never have thought that celery is supposed to go in it. Like I didn't know that, but it's made specifically for celery. And the typical vessel is shaped like a parfait glass. It has a waist kind of that tucks in a lot of the time. And then it kind of flares out back again at the top. 8 to 12 inches tall.
Like a trombone.
Yeah, the little flute. And it's, they're 8 to 12 inches long, usually tall, these vessels. And made of glass or silver, depending on, you know, your set there. And I kept a lot of them, ice water was put in the base so it would keep the stalk crispy. And so
crunchy.
I think in some cases you could maybe go over there and like pull one out and break one off and eat it.
Yeah, how do you do this elegantly?
I don't know. I would feel like I would break every rule at a old timey party.
Yeah.
Beekman
would be side-eyeing you. You would not be invited again.
Never, ever, ever. Which honestly, fine by me, but she would throw me out. And why were they doing this with celery? Well, why else? It was a little bit expensive initially. So you got to showcase that you had the money to have the celery. It's like pineapples, right? How if you had like a pineapple during certain years, like at your dinner party, it was essentially you slinging your fucking hog on the table and being like, look at this shit.
Eat up.
Like, eat up. And so this was kind of like that. You had some celery that was in a fancy thing and it's on the table and it's like, oh shit, they've got celery. I guess people were supposed to really be impressed by that.
You know, I'm trying to think of it. Leonard, look, they have celery.
I want that. And so it's why? Well, so it was also kind of a finicky bitch to grow, for one. Celery's got a little bit persnickety. It also is prone to disease pretty easy. So it was like it was being grown, but like it's not the highest yielding thing, it seems, and is kind of a bit tricksy. So they were growing enough to produce a crop that was valuable enough for the upper crust to be very interested in. And it seems like that's what happened. And it didn't last forever, though, this demand, this fanciness surrounding celery, because improvements in growing techniques began to form. And after the American Civil War, new varieties began to appear. Of celery began to spread, and
gross. Now everybody can get it. Ew.
Exactly, dude. So they were more productive. They were less prone to disease. They lowered the price and made it injected more into the kind of, I don't know if there was a technical middle class at this time post Civil War, but got it below the upper crust more and into more hands, at least. Mm. And so, okay, so here we go. This was an interesting excerpt that it just talks about how there's so many things in history that you just don't think can be affected by other things. And it's just neat to see how it all goes together. So this was from a site called epicurious.com. And so here we go. In the era before railroads, market gardens needed to be just a few miles from a city, since growers had to haul their produce to market by wagon several times a week. By the 1840s, though, newly completed railroads made urban markets accessible to farmers much further out. A new network of wholesale merchants soon emerged to buy produce from rural gardeners and broker its sale in large cities, prompting more growers to cultivate produce for urban markets. With a primary focus on maximizing profits, these growers and middlemen soon turned to more perishable but more lucrative produce, like celery. Oh. So it made it a bit more, it was prioritized because it was the railroad system made it to where you're not just growing produce for the little town a couple miles down the road. You can grow more in bulk and sell it to the urban markets. And so varieties that jived more with the American climate were created, including two varieties that the name cracks me up with. And so the first one's not too much, but it's Cole's, like a name, Cole's Superb White, which gives me joy. But the second one is truly a gift to everyone on this earth. And it is Nuts Champion White. And I saw it and just needed to put my hands down on my keyboard for a little while and just look at it. Nuts Champion White.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a privilege to have.
Yeah. Yeah, white. Huh. And I know it's talking about the celery color, but it just reminds me of the whites with fucking Culpeper, talking about a woman's whites, and the champion fucking Nuts Champion White. It sounds like cum. It's just all it sounds like, and it's all I can think about.
Let's call it what it is. It's cum.
It's cum. And so even though it was becoming more wildly available, celery still had kind of a posh vibe to it. It was still a bit, in vogue. And it had a place in multiple places around the dinner table, kind of depending on who was hosting, what was going on, what society, author, or cookbook was writing it.
Of my champion whites.
Of my Nuts Champion Whites. And oftentimes, a mid-meal relish tray. I love a relish tray. Give me a tray with some pickles and olives and celery on it. I'll eat it all. I'm a big fan.
I'll eat all those pickles and I'll eat all of those olives.
And so it was common in there. Oftentimes on ice in a celery vase, or served as the main course at times. And along with this, generally being a colder weather crop, initially it was generally harvested fresh around the holidays, peaking around November and December. So it very quickly made its way into quite a holiday staple, which it is. Cute. I guess, yeah, it goes into all that stuff. It's in all that shit, all the stuffing, and it was very, very early on recipes that it was in cranberry sauces, like cranberry relishes, kind of like how Tony makes. I think I saw it was like cranberries, celery, mango, and something else, which I was like, actually, that sounds kind of great. I'd mess with that.
I could have relish. A Thanksgiving plate right now.
I think
I could go for a Thanksgiving plate.
I think of Tony's cranberry relish all the time. I would eat that with a spoon for breakfast.
Mix that with the stuffing and put it on a little roll. Delicious.
It's all you need. Delicious. And an interesting observation of society, and we all know this is how society often works. By the tail end of the 1800s, it began to fall out of vogue to have a tall centerpiece, a big tall celery centerpiece. And it became more popular to serve things laying flat. So initially silverware would also be served sticking up and everything was served. But then it became more, no, we want to serve things flat. So celery was cut, served flat. And
why do trends happen? They're so dumb.
Well, it seems like the reason it started happening and the switch to flat was because these upper crust behaviors were starting to get picked up by the more mainstream restaurants of the time. So the upper crust isn't going to want to look at the equivalent of a modern Applebee's with their fancy tall shit. And they're going to be like, ew, gross. The poors are doing it now? Oh, we've got to do something else.
So put it on its side. That'll do it.
Flat is in now. Tall is out, because that is what the peasants are doing,
what
and that
Chili's
is gross.
doing.
Yes. So it seems like that was a legit reason as to things started moving flatly. Now, it wouldn't seem like that's a big deal much for the celery industry, but it actually is, because it impacted the varieties being grown. Because to suit this trend, not entirely, but partially, very tall, fancy, florally varieties were being produced because they were being used as centerpieces. Now, they are being less sought after versus the more shorter, solid, like dwarf varieties, which only get, about 18-ish or so inches tall.
Sturdy.
Your more standard celery that we would recognize from the grocery store. And at this time, self-blanching varieties were starting to be created as those techniques that could cut costs with growing. So celery was really becoming pretty more commonly grown and made its way all the way out to the fields of California, who is still the top producer of celery today in the United States, growing 80% of America's celery. And of course, over time, celery became more of a year-round crop that we see today instead of a cold season one, specifically and only. So that was another blow, though, dealt to the exclusivity of it. It became more common. And it suffered the curse of what happens when you become more available, is just that you just become in less demand necessarily. You kind of become another vegetable.
Humans are weird, man.
Yeah, it's just it's not
I only
special.
want it if no one else has it.
Yeah, and so since it was so available, it just wasn't as big of a deal. In the 1940s, though, production did slow because of the forcing of Japanese people into internment camps, i.e. concentration camps, which is something that absolutely was done and is one of the many dark stains that just streaks across
I
this
didn't
country.
learn about in school.
We did, but
we breezed over.
They were just work camps.
Right.
They
made it seem more like, they were prisoners of war.
It was kind of for their safety because they, no, it was horrible.
Yeah. Then you grow up a little and you're like,
it was truly nightmarish, and a bunch of people died. And even worse, when they got out of imprisonment, a lot of them couldn't regain their lands, or their lands had been taken for wartime efforts. And so they came out with no money because they hadn't been able to work, because they'd been working essentially forced labor, starving in an internment camp.
Right.
And then came out, and it's just like, all right, bye.
Live.
Figure it out. Well, we're all still heinously prejudiced to you the whole time. So while there have been fluctuations in the production of celery in California over years since, still far and away, California has remained the go-to state for our state or our country's grocery store celery. And so Florida's second place. So both ends of the country, you got Florida's far, far behind, it seems, but Florida is the second place. So
interesting.
We'll get into a little bit of history with celery here. And so there was this great article that I found, NPR article, called Celery. Why? And that's it.
Okay, wonderful. A question on all of our lips.
And in this, it's an interview with Juan Carlos Quiros, a plant geneticist emeritus from the University of California, Davis, so UC Davis. And he says, so getting into the historical use, and so what makes this tricky is that in the Mediterranean region, there was wild celery, but we also know that humans were involved with celery pretty far back. So it's not always clear if this was like full on wild celery or cultivated celery that they were talking about, but celery nonetheless. And so this professor and plant geneticist says people in Egypt, Rome, and China, because that's a whole other thing. There is Chinese celery, which I like is its whole own other avenue within history. That is, again, it was so big today, and used the wild plant medicinally for a slew of ailments, but usually for hangovers or as aphrodisiacs. The Greeks and Roman, there's a lot of aphrodisiac use with celery, like a lot. I didn't expect it, but I probably should have. And so the Greeks and Romans favored wild celery's leaves to weave victory crowns for athletes, as well as the Egyptians. They did the same. And in fact, archaeologists discovered a celery wreath in Tutankhamun's tomb. So King Tut's tomb had a celery wreath in it.
King Tut.
So, got a condom made of stoner. That is unreal. That whole song is so ridiculous. So that article did open up with this line, which it opened up like a shot. This
what
celery.
Article? Celery why?
Celery, why? NPR article. And it said, celery, the mild-mannered straight man of the vegetable world, packs a puny 6 calories per stalk, and in my opinion, as much flavor as a desk lamp. And I was like, whoa, that's really coming in hot.
The word puny really stuck it to me there. Yeah.
The mild-mannered straight man of the vegetable world. That is such a take. So it's, and
it's
also
the David Spade of the vegetable world.
I don't think it's flavorless. I feel like celery has a huge flavor. Like, it's watery.
You can pick it out for sure.
But you can pick out. I don't consider celery flavorless.
So maybe they are confusing it with watery. Maybe it's just like
it is. Yeah,
the same people who say that water chestnuts don't taste like anything. It's just like it's a texture thing.
I love a water chestnut. Oh, I love a water chestnut. I love it so much. So, I did. This is from newworldencyclopedia.com. This line just really cracked me up because it's just so what it is. And it's just, its wonderful. Unique flavor and texture brings joy to people. And it's talking about celery, but I had to take it down, you know? And so celery is mentioned many times in historical works that you probably studied in high school, such as Homer's Iliad, as well as the Odyssey. In the Iliad, the horses, there are horses mentioned grazing on wild celery that grows outside the marshlands of Troy. In the Odyssey, it grows outside of the cave of Calypso. So it's all up in there. I cannot think of the Odyssey and not immediately shoot back to high school. Like I remember my high school English class back in the Odyssey and the Iliad.
I remember. And it was sort of like the Odyssey and also, what's the other one?
The Iliad?
Yeah, I guess. Our teacher brought in Oh Brother for everyone to watch.
Nice.
Because that's, the modern day retelling or whatever.
It's an adaptation.
But I had seen it a million times at this point, but I remember getting to witness a lot of people's first times with that film. That was pretty cool.
That's nice. I'd be into that. We never got to watch Oh Brother in school, but I would have enjoyed the hell out of that day if we did. That was such a family staple. Simp Cap. Yeah. We are doing that one for sure. Yeah. We have to.
Do we need to put it side by side?
Oh, God. With the Odyssey? We could just get the Spark Notes for the Odyssey and just...
there is no other version. I'm sorry. When it comes to things like old English books and fucking Beowulf and shit, there is nothing that exists to me other than the ones where it's like the original writing and on the side.
And it's the summary that breaks it down.
It's it's just the new, like, the, for lack of a better term,
say it more like, version. Like how, modern speak or whatever.
That's how I read Romeo and Juliet in high school. And that's how I was the only person in the class who basically understood it.
Understood anything going on?
You can't give that to, like, and I know there are people, and I'm not saying this is not about, like, I'm just saying, you can't give that to, like, 16-year-olds who all they want to do is not read Shakespeare.
Well, that's
except
the
a few
wording.
nerds.
is so different. Just like how wherefore art thou means like, why are you? You know,
Right.
like shit like that. You don't know that. Like you're reading all this shit. You don't know it.
It depends on your teacher too. Because if you got a teacher, I had a teacher who some Shakespeare I remember reading and really digging because they went through it with us and they basically broke it down. They said this. But then like with Romeo and Juliet, my teacher that I had at the time, they were just like, go home and read, you know, this section through this act through this act, you know, and that's your homework. And it was just like, excuse me, what?
Luckily, I had a good one. I had a good English teacher for Odyssey and Iliad. And that's why, here's the thing, because I've had to read the Odyssey 3 times. I had to read it in college and I had to read it twice in school. And so it's like, I've read it enough times. I am spark noting it. I'm not reading it again. I've done it. I have been there. But I do think that would be fun to compare it and like kind of tie all of it together and do a whole Wimp Cap series on it. And
we'll get the modern day translation.
Yes, I'm in.
Yeah.
And so, according to Pliny the Elder, and this is going to be very appropriate.
Great.
With what we know about Pliny the Elder. The yolk of eggs, boiled hard, mixed with a little saffron and honey, and applied in woman's milk, relieves pains of the eyes.
Mark it. We've got, first of all, his favorite thing, rubbing it in the eyes.
Eyeballs. Always the eyeballs.
Second of all, in woman's
and breast milk, I guess that means breast milk. You dip it in breast milk and put it over the eyes. Or it may be placed over the eyes on wool with rose oil and honey wine, or applied in honey wine with ground celery seed and pearl barley. So that's why I said this. A celery seed was involved in the eye treatment of putting either a cloth
see some
on
of those
your
elements
eyes. Yeah.
Working. But like some of them are real curveballs.
Yeah, they all are. I've got another one for you.
And the milk.
I've got another one for you. This has nothing to do with celery salt or celery seed or celery anything. It's just I found that first excerpt in his natural history writing. It's just long. It's this big long document, and this just caught my eye. And it's classic Pliny the Elder, and I just had to include it. I will not pass over a marvel, though it has nothing to do with medicine. If the limbs of hens are stirred up in melted gold, they absorb it all into themselves. So violent a poison of gold is chicken. But cocks themselves do not crow if they have a collar of wood shavings round their necks.
What is he talking about? Put him to bed. What does that mean?
I feel like he's just rolling, dude. I feel like he's rolling on something and he's just writing it out.
That is absolutely just flow state speech.
Yeah, he says you cut off chicken legs, put them in boiled gold. Who's got a vat of boiled gold, for one? And then the chicken legs absorb the gold inside of them, because apparently chicken is a poison to gold. Chicken poisons gold. But if you don't want your rooster to crow, in a completely unrelated tangent, you put wood shavings around its neck.
Why did he start talking about the... I swear, dude, this dude, something's going on up here. And it's just a stream.
It's like automatic writing.
Yeah.
He's just doing automatic writing, and now we have Pliny the Elder's natural history. It's wild. So
I love it so much.
Let's, with that, roll into the metaphysical, because it seems as good a time as any after all that shit. And so when we get to the magical uses, there's kind of like different ways we can go here. And it's interesting. So also different ways we can...
Pause. Are we going to talk about why your mouth goes numb?
Well, I kind of did. So I forgot to write down what that is, but it seems like the main reason, I mean, aside from the fact that you could be like full on legit allergic to it, but it seems that pollen type thing. I meant to write the name down, but I'm not seeing it in my notes anywhere.
Okay. Yes.
It's a common one for that to happen with, but
gotcha. Okay.
So You can use celery seed. Celery seed is a very common magical ingredient, as well as the stalks themselves. So you can kind of use all whatever you want to use here. Or you can use celery salt because it's delicious. And I love celery salt so damn
Celery
much.
salt's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. I remember the first time I ever had it. The first time I ever had it was back, I was like my sophomore year of high school, the year that Sonic really invested in like the summer of hot dogs. And so they had like the Chicago dog, the New York dog.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever had a Chicago dog. And it blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. I'm still a big fan of a Chicago dog. I had one when I was in Chicago. And I was actually really shocked at how much it tasted like the Sonic dog. And it was like, I was like, oh, okay then. But it's delicious. I love celery salt. And so celery seeds from the 7th century BC were found in a sanctuary that was to the goddess of Hera, leading to an association with Hera. And apparently, y'all, this is one of these things that was just repeated all over the internet, and I couldn't find where it came from. I couldn't find the root of it, but it's just, I have to include it. There's like an old folk tale thing that witches would chew celery seed to combat dizziness so they didn't fall off their brooms when they were riding them.
Who was the first person to say that?
I don't know. But
and what's the purpose?
All over the place. I don't know.
Oh my God.
And
we all know that the witches riding the broom, we all know what that was.
Yeah, and so it sounds like the last thing you want to do is chew a bunch of celery seed and bring you back down to earth, to like...
Yeah.
Like...
No, I want to blast off with my flying ointment.
Yeah, like...
Up my butt, taint, coochie, whatever.
Yeah. I'm chewing 5 gum right now. I'm having a whole, like, experience. The last thing I need is for celery to come in and shake my dizziness.
Yeah, no thank you. Unless it was code. Unless it's code. Maybe it's like, look, if you're hanging out and one of your friends is flying a little too high and they're freaking out, chew on some celery.
That's how you do it. Yeah. Could be.
Bring you down a little.
And celery's a little horny.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very rigid and tall.
Well, the seed, celery seed is a big part of it. Celery seed, but of course, yes, the stalk is too.
And the cum.
It's very
Remember
firm.
the cum, the whites?
Yeah. The whites, lots of it.
Yeah. Nuts, favorite whites, whatever.
White, stalk.
Spectacular whites. Yeah.
And we've got some fun names that it has been nicknamed.
Thank God.
Before. But it is said that chewing celery seeds can increase lust. Lust specifically. Lust. Just increase it.
Lust.
Get that lust up. What are your lust numbers? Well, buddy, that's too low. Get them up.
How many lust units do you got?
Yeah, exactly. You need more of them. And it is very often throughout history used as an aphrodisiac, especially a dude aphrodisiac, to have liftoff, if you will. And it is indicated in such names as stand-up herb, stand-up wart, studwort, and buckswort. So you can see the theme. Buckswort.
Yeah.
Oh. And so, on the other hand, celery is very, very tied to the astral or spirit side of things, which is really interesting, but it makes sense when you look into it. And it made me kind of giggle a little bit to think about that, because there is a lot of like spirit and ancestral communication. And I was like, what if you're really trying to work on that and you just accidentally pop a bone? Like your wires get crossed and you're chewing your seeds and
you're in like a very high ceremonial state.
And you just pop one.
And you're like trying and you just, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit. And so I...
Close it down.
Just
stop it.
Tuck it in the waistband. But in all seriousness, celery is tied to dream work and ancestor work and a lot of psychic energy all going around celery here. It has long been found in many tombs and sanctuaries for multiple different deities or high figures. It was present in multiple different death rites, celery was. And granted, it's not the exact same kind that is cultivated today, but still, it's the energy is there, and that tie to reverence is still there. There's a lot of reverent uses to celery with these like honoring of these important deities and these death passage rites, things like that involve a lot of care and respect. And we might not think of humble celery like that. You know, it's kind of interesting. It was like, good for you, celery. Mean and shit. And I think it makes sense to me a little bit. And I don't know if this is like the main reason, but it made sense because it is so watery. I feel like celery is essentially water with just enough fiber to hold it together to make it water fiber, but it's still water. And I could just, I feel when I think of water, I think of knowledge and the abyss of spirit and stuff like that. It is very watery to me. I think of the rune Lauguz or Mimir's Well, where Odin sacrificed his eye to get the knowledge from Mimir's Well. There's just water is a holder of a lot of knowledge.
Very
and
deep.
Yeah, and with that, because I know there's of course the spirit element of its own, but water to me is right there. It's just that, because there's, especially if you're working with ancestors, I feel like with water, there's that emotion, you know, like that flowing. Yeah. We are one, the same, you know, there's the water in the blood and in the body. That's that river of blood and water and fluid that has continued on for your ancestral path. I feel like water is a good way to tap into that. So it makes sense to me. And maybe you want to make it a good addition for an ancestor meal. You know, because you have that element in there that's going to help build that tether. And maybe you want to have fun with it. Maybe, all right, maybe you get a little bit more practical and you make a good old soup. Maybe you make like a little chicken noodle soup, you know, and you got that celery in there and you've got all going on. Or,
oh my God,
like maybe you make them a plate of ants on a log. They're going to love it. They're going to love it so much. Or make them a Bloody Mary. Put a big old stock right up in the top.
There you go.
Dress them up a good one. Put everything in it.
Yes.
Put it all in there.
Yeah.
And then like, it's theirs.
Chunky spices.
Oh.
Chunky spices.
Yes. The additions. Yeah. It's not just the mix. You've got some hot sauce in there. You've got your celery salt. You've got your olives. You've got your fucking celery. You've got a fucking, I like it when they put the pickles on there. Like put everything on there that you want
Olives,
on a Bloody
pickles,
Mary.
Shove it in there.
All of it.
Give me a snack.
Make that for your ancestor, and your ancestor can grab onto that celery like a beacon through space and time and
just
connect with you.
Just go for it. Hell yeah.
I'm in. So, but there is a deep, deep psychic tie that runs with celery, can be utilized in kitchen magic, by cooking with it, or utilizing the seeds or the salt in a candle spell, or an herb blend, using the seeds in like an herb blend to use on a disc to burn, to awaken this psychic or even prophetic energy. And these roots are really deeply tied, it seems, to conjure magic and root work. I found this on herbmagic.com. And looking into that, so big time deep psychic ties in that field, in that arena. And God, my throat feels
she's dying
a little bit tight.
Oh no! Macy was
This is also very well known, and therefore I shall not trouble the reader with the description thereof. It is an herb of mercury. Smallage is hotter, drier, and much more medicinal than parsley, for it much more opens obstructions of the liver and spleen, rarefies thick phlegm, and cleanses it in the blood withal. It provokes urine and women's courses, and is singularly good against yellow jaundice, tertian, and quartan agues, if the juice thereof is taken, but especially made into a syrup. The juice also put to honey And barley water is very good to gargle the mouth and throat of those that have sores and ulcers in them, and will quickly heal them. The seed is especially used to break and expel wind and kill worms, and to help a stinking breath. The root is effectual to all the purposes aforesaid, and is held to be stronger in operation than the herb, but especially to open obstructions and to rid away any ague, if the juice thereof is taken in wine or a decoction thereof. Oh, man, my muscles feel like they were just really tight.
Macy, I don't want to alarm you, but we had a visit. We got to hear a little bit more about the og. And the obstructions in the liver? Why did he say that?
What could that mean? Why
Why did he say that?
What is an obstruction in the liver?
What makes him say some of the things he says?
I don't know.
Like, I'm being very, very serious.
I don't know.
He had to sit down and come up with, or maybe someone said it before him. Where did this come from? And why do you just say things like a cucumber 1 degree cooler will be poisonous?
I don't know.
You made that up.
Apparently, it's hotter and drier than parsley.
Hotter and drier.
I don't know what that means. I don't know.
I'm
what
about
any
to
of it
throw
means.
him into the pit, dude.
I don't
listen,
know.
I am okay. Well, I'm glad you're feeling back to normal. I'm glad that
he's
was
gone now. Yeah.
One day he's just not gonna leave.
It will take me so long to say anything if that ever happens.
Everything, it's so riddled with like adjectives and flowery verse. It's
so
just
much.
like, dude, just say it makes you fart.
Get your nonsense to the point. It breaks the wind and expels the worm. Yeah.
He's obsessed with worms too.
A lot of people had them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
people
for
had
good
that
reason.
worm. Yeah. I'm done. That's everything that I have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Do you remember that rumor? And this is not true from my understanding. But do you remember they used to say that if you ate celery, it burned more calories to eat it than
that it was a negative food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a negative calorie food.
Yeah.
So everybody like tried to eat a bunch of celery to get skinny.
Yeah, that was a big one in like the 2000s, especially. Right. I remember carrots and celery. Yeah. You can eat them and you could just never, ever actually gain any weight. Yeah, I remember that.
And then shortly after, we had Atkins coming in, blowing everybody's dicks off, saying, just eat meat and cheese, brother.
Meat and cheese.
It's good for you.
Dude, what a time.
What a time.
What a time.
I had so much bacon and fried eggs. Mm-hmm. And under the guise of, this is health food.
We had a lot.
Which is to not say it's not nourishing, but you know.
It can be a lot. We grew up in the fad diet era. Like big
so much
time.
Mental
it was
damage.
Hard to get out of that. Hard to get out of that period of time as an adolescent and not have some sort of disorder. Honestly, very difficult
for sure.
Disordered eating.
Yeah, I feel like most people I know have struggled with something of some kind.
Getting out of that like 12-ish year period, 15-year period.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I am done.
Wow.
I am sweating and I am done. That last Culpeper, man, that took a lot out of me. I can feel wrung out from it.
The cold sweats?
Yeah, actually.
Where he oozes into your body.
Yeah. Yeah, and I gotta sweat him out. And I feel that he was here. So
he's a very cold man.
He is cold.
He likes
yes. If we're working on his temperature scale, he is cold. And
that's why he wants to warm the liver and warm
it all up. Everything needs to be drier and hotter. I don't know. I don't know any of this. I don't get it.
Gross. All right, dudes.
I'm done.
We will see you next week.
Yes.
I fully expect to be back to normal topics. So yay. Also, remember, check out all the links down in the description for today's sponsor. Also for things like our Facebook show is what I almost said. Should we tell them about the live situation for this coming up month? Go ahead.
Since Charlye was a dead person for a good chunk of this month and still kind of is, we're, instead of doing our 2 lives in March like we usually do, we're just going to roll forward with a full-on April series. We're going to be live every April. We're going to be live every Wednesday in April at 6 p.m. CST in the private Patreon group. So you can count on us over there. Every Wednesday night at 6, we're going to be hanging out over there. That's 4 solid weeks. And kind of making up the dates and hanging out and just kind of doing a weekly thing for a little while. Seeing how it feels.
Nice and scheduled. So yes, we hope to see you. We hope to see you there. That is starting with the first Wednesday of the month of April.
Yes. Also, Charlye and I have a date on the books this coming Monday, April 1st.
Yes.
We're getting together. We're going to get some snacks. We're going to watch some shitty fucking TV. And we're going to sign all the prints, get them all packed up. We're going to draw the raffle ticket winners and get all of that done. So coming up on Monday, everything's going to be going out. All your prints are going to be going out for you guys, as well as you raffle ticket winners. You'll be able to, we'll email you to let you select your print. And we will go from there. So anyway, that's an update on those. Everything's printed. Everything's ready to go.
I apologize on the delay on that, dudes. Sorry. That was my bad.
It's all right. We'll get them all signed.
That was my constitution's bad.
It was. Your constitution's bad. But they'll be rocking and rolling out. And I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
We love you. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Eat some stuffing.
Some stuffing.
Have a good day.
Eat some stuffing.
Kisses and love. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Okay. That's, you know what?
I never watched
We've
Gossip
ended
Girl.
worse. I didn't either. Well, you know what? We're rolling with confidence. Let's end it.
Yeah.
All right.
Click.